Yes, and we are live on Facebook. We're just setting it up. And Deepa, you're new here, but I'm technically challenged even after 100 interviews. But so I just keep setting up some stuff and I've learned it. But yeah, so we're all set. All right, what can I say? I know that I've been messaging all of you to come and hear this incredible story. And, we've been talking about moms for past 1 year here, all kinds of mom, all shades of moms. And each shade is just so unique in its own self, just bringing their unique story. And blessing is such that we yet again have a unique story, not to only inspire us, but the next generation. I was just talking to her that we must talk about it because a lot of you see replays, a lot of you are waking up, a lot of you are just wrapping up in India. And this is going to be a really beautiful, inspirational story of a mom who gives a lot of credit of who she's become to her daughters. And welcome to the Mom Wives show, and also officially to the book. I just, when I get into the space of interviewing, something happens to me. And for me right now, I just feel so blessed to know somebody like you, to learn from you, to be in your orbit, to understand how to face things. Deepa Malik, our Arjuna Awardee and Padma Shri from our country, are definitely our country's pride. And I would love to give the stage to her because, as I always say, moms who live their story tells their story the best. I am not going to take the stage from her. Welcome to the show and happy to have you here. Let's talk about your journey. First, as Deepa Malik, from being a kid, coming till becoming an Olympian, and then we will move forward as a mom story.
Thank you so much, Shikha. It's so wonderful to be chosen as a mom to be talked about, a mom who has lived enough experiences to share her story. Because being a mom and being able to bring up two daughters, that was the biggest challenge that was posed in front of me, stereotypically by others.
Right.
When I lost my body to paralysis as a very young mother of two young little girls, everybody had only one topic, that how will she ever bring up her children? And these little girls are going to be, sort of living under this whole cloud of sorrowness and a liability of a mother who's just going to lie in her own room, in her own urine and feces. So motherhood, and then this is post my paralysis. And even as a child, when I grew up, I was always a tomboy. And I was often targeted with these kind of impressions that, oh my God, she is a boy's soul caught in a woman's body. Because I was always up to things which were stereotypically meant for boys to do, Though I'm very fortunate, my parents never put genders to colors, toys, hobbies, passions.
Right.
They did get worried sometimes because whatever I did was totally out of the box. For a young girl to be more fond of cycling, basketball, swimming, riding, and then doing these very unconventional things like biking when I was growing up. So as a young kid, of course, I faced my share of disability when first time the tumor came in. And when the tumor was setting in my ability to walk and the physical alertness was going down, till then they had still not discovered that there was a problem cropping up from within. There was a physical ailment which was there that was keeping me from stepping out of the room, or lethargic for that matter. They felt that I had started behaving like a girl. But thankfully, my father didn't believe all that. And he says, no, innate nature of my child is outdoors. And she is not what she was. And I think that is something which pushed him to take me to doctors again and again. And despite lack of medical evolvement, the technological evolvement, and lack of the MRIs, etc., to tell you that there is a tumor inside the body, still he never gave up on me.
Wow.
And I was in the hospital almost for a year And then I had my surgery and very aggressive rehabilitation, which had to be consistently done for 2 to 3 years.
Right.
My parents made sure that I walked again. And never did they make me feel like a burden or somebody who's a negative presence in the family. So that love, that affection that parents gave me, and all that dedication of my mom towards me, it kind of prepared me for my future. And I was back to my outdoorsy self. As a child, I have been a very rebellious child, rebellious because I did the boy stuff and not the girl stuff.
Right.
And by the time I grew up as a teenager, I was caught biking once, And when I was caught biking, I was grounded. I was grounded. That was the only time my parents grounded me. And that also probably they felt that now she's nearing her grade 12th and she has to go to a college. We have to sober her down because she'll be living in the hostel, away from home, without us around. So she needs to be a little more regular. And then because she'll be on her own. Probably now when I look back, I get that kind of feeling because now I'm also a parent.
Right.
At that time, I was very angry. And when they sent me to the village, they said, okay, now we'll send her to the village, to the farm. So we have a common family farm near the canal, the Gang Canal in border area, the desert area of Rajasthan.
Right.
But I feel that that was again a time which gave me whatever I needed. For example, and whatever I did eventually in future to, uh, you know, take a rebirth in the body which was paralyzed. Those are the passions which came in handy. I got the bikes on the farm because we had a dairy on the farm and all the milkmen would come with those heavy bikes to collect milk in the morning. So I would get an opportunity to ride bikes and this time heavier bikes.
Right.
With all the doodh ka dolus and all those containers tied on to that. So you really had to balance. Then there were a lot of jeeps because it's a desert area. So you had the basic mode of transportation were jeeps. I started driving jeeps, which prepared me for rallies, which I did in the future.
Wow.
I had a canal to swim in. I used to swim in the canal. I used to ride the tractors because I used to drive them. And in the evening, we used to have a community cooking.
Yeah.
We used to have, a big basket of vegetables to be cut. The food had to be cooked for almost 30 to 35 people at one go. So
Right.
it never intimidated me to see so much food to be cooked at one time.
Right.
So I think that became the base of my confidence for starting a garden restaurant
Right.
later in life. So this was pretty much my childhood till I got married. I got married again for common passions. My husband, a good sports person in the army, a very ardent rider who gifted me a bike to woo me into a love marriage. So he won me over by gifting a bike to me. So whatever was on hold came back to life.
Right.
I became a young mother. I got married very young because I was in a hurry to ride that bike. So, and I wasn't really, I had never had these dreams of becoming a working woman, a teacher, or an engineer, or a doctor. I just needed a traveling kind of a life, and I got that vagabondish life, being married to an army officer. With again, the army cantonment gave you all those facilities also.
Right.
Various. So this has been a life until my elder daughter was born, and she met with an accident, and she faced her share of disability with left side of her body getting paralyzed. So the whole thing came back. Life came full circle to the same point where I suffered as a child with a tumor and paralysis, and now seeing my child suffer from almost a similar thing.
Right.
And that's when I realized how people look at disability, how they felt that I am the mother who has passed on the disease to my child. It's something hereditary that is happening. Whereas she was an accident case and I was a tumor case.
Right.
They were not linked genetically or biologically, but
Right.
that's how it was perceived. As a child, when I saw that my parents, my mother, never let any negativity reach me, I never understood what disability was as a child, despite being disabled for 4.5 years. Because family meant love, affection, childhood meant illness, meant exercising, or even disability meant love, care, warmth, affection. And this is exactly what I was giving my daughter.
Right.
Because that is how I had learned it from my mother. And I was just carrying the legacy forward that if they could take care of me, I have to take care of my child. And then my second daughter was born. With that, life started looking up a bit till my tumors came back at a very young age of 29, 30 years. As a mother of two, I was again given only 7 days to celebrate walking. Tumor surgery happened, and as predicted, the spinal cord was damaged, and it's been 23 years that I have lived in chest below paralysis. So this has been pretty much my journey, and post the rebirth of me in a new body is like a lot of challenges. I had to learn to be a mother, a wife, a homemaker, a woman with self-esteem and self-confidence all over again. And I focused on positivity. I learned the new body, whatever was to be done, the rehabilitation, the occupational therapy. But nobody was recognizing me as a Deepa of hobbies, as a Deepa for love for outdoors, as a Deepa who was very chirpy, loved dancing, biking, swimming. Because now Deepa was crippled, she was paralyzed, she was wheelchair bound. Whereas wheels give you the momentum, they give you mobility, they become your assistive aid to battle the stagnation of a paralyzed life. And yet, I don't know why people say I'm a wheelchair bound person. I call myself a wheelchair liberated woman. And then the whole doubt on the motherhood.
That hurts.
Yes.
That's what I was telling you when I met you, that nobody messes with a mother. You can mess with Deepa, the outdoor person. You can mess with Deepa, the other person, but you don't mess with Deepa, the mother, because nobody messes with the mother. And that's what this whole project is about.
And that's when I decided, I said, oh my God, I cannot see my daughters growing up with any kind of intimidation by the thought process which others are imposing on us.
Right.
I don't want them to grow up believing others that their mother is actually a sad, crippled, ill, and a patient kind of a person. I still wanted them to see me happy, smiling, working, traveling. And then I found that all my passions came in handy. One by one, I first opened a garden restaurant. I wanted to prove that I'm not going to be a financial liability on anybody. Then I started working to becoming a biker again, because that is how people thought that the wheels of the wheelchair are the latest identity and I can no longer ride a bike. But that was a lot of battle. But the source of inspiration was that I have to be that mother that my children can look up to. And I feel blessed to have got the paralysis, because I didn't have to tell my daughter to exercise, Devika. I did not have to tell her to, you will do this, you will become this. I could lead by an example.
Yeah.
You could see me exercising. So she said, oh, this is how it is done.
Right.
To feel better and to get out of your paralysis, you have to exercise. And then she saw from the bed, I could sit up. By sitting up, then my arms became strengthful, where I could learn shifting from the bed to the wheelchair. Then she learned how I was, taking an anima or changing my diapers or wearing clothes on my own, despite being just below paralyzed. Because I was learning those things, and those things started becoming easier for me. So she also imbibed those qualities very organically.
Right.
So somewhere I feel blessed being in this body. And after that, anything that I did from the body, whatever I used to do earlier, if I did it from this new body of mine, it became inspirational. It gave me a new identity of being a person who can rise above adversity, a person who is showing grit, determination, and positive attitude. And these are the values that you want your children to take from you. As a mother, being a teacher to my children, this is what I have to pass on. And very organically, these things were being passed on. Very effortlessly, they were being passed on.
You know, Deepaji, when I started this whole project, it initially started by one, I wanted to, myself as a mom, keep learning. And, you know, you surround yourself with people who make you go up, then you start becoming like them, you know. So when I started this project, I wanted to find inspiring stories. And when I'm hearing you, the ripple effect is what I was first the first very important thing for me was the ripple effect that's going down. So the ripple effect is not only going down from you to your daughter, it's also coming from your mother to you, right? So I'm sure her mother, you know, when one mother in the generation down starts to decide that this is not going to be the way, then it starts to change down. And only people down in the ripple effect don't even come to know where it's coming from. So I also think it's your mother, because you mentioned at least several times right now that your mom was never made you feel as if there was something wrong with you, and that ripple down for you never to feel that, and that ripple down for your daughter to never feel that, and that ripple down even further, and now it's rippling down to other people through you, not only in your you know, direct circle, but outside to the world, by going for Olympics and winning that medal. And then and and just what you just said, that doing it and then they start learning, you know, we all get stuck into the whole thing as moms, that we are talking to them, we are speaking to them, but they're not understanding, they're not listening. We have to do it for them to see it and then to learn it when it's their choice, but they figure it out how to start imitating.
Yeah, subconsciously it stays with them. It
Yeah.
is, they always say that your children or your team is not going to be who you want them to be.
Right.
They will be who you are.
Right. Right.
And this is a proven fact, because like you were saying, my mother's mother, my nani, she was a wonderful singer, and in her days, she used to be the life of any lady sangeet, any marriage. She could play the dholki so well. She could sing the bhajans and the wedding songs so well. And my mother were four sisters. So with Nani and four sisters, they were like uh, the most wanted invitees for any function. So they had this ability to be public speakers in a way, if I may say
Right.
that. Then my mother individually became a fantastic debater. She would always win the
There you go.
inter-college debate competition. Then it came on to me. I won the Yuva Kendra debate trophy.
Yeah.
And my daughter was invited as a speaker to be the opening speaker at the Commonwealth Government Heads meeting at Buckingham Palace.
Look at that. That's a ripple effect.
Yes. So I think it is true. It happened.
Yes. Yes. And you know, I've spoken to so many moms, and I'm just taking this a little off center. But I have spoken to many moms, and when we are speaking, right when they realize, if they're looking at an inspiring thing, it's coming down from their mom to them. It doesn't hit you very consciously, but when you're in a mother's project and somebody like me is just saying that you just said your mother's name like 5 times, suddenly it hits you that, yeah, and then now see you even talking about your grandmother. And just to let a lot of international audience know, Nani is a grandmother from mother's side. And, you know, that's how important this project is, Deepaji. This project at this point is that's how important it is. Because today we need to know that the way we are living is going to ripple down to the next generation. And
Shikha, here is something more. When you say next generation, I want to share something more. I often say that I don't know if I brought up my daughters or they brought me up, because I was like a little baby who needed to be sponged, who needed to wear diapers, who they had to powder me so that I don't get bed sores, diaper rashes. So what I did for them, they were immediately in this very life returning it and taking care of me. They still do. Other thing is, when I started my career, I was almost 38, 40 years old.
right,
Which took me from home. I left them, I moved. Slowly they moved in with me, balancing their education and supporting my sporting career. And that's when people said, Look at this mother, she's busy making her own career, that too in a very unconventional way, because it took some time for my country to formulate policies around disability sports and the para sports.
Right.
It wasn't so popular and accepted. Everybody thought that at 40, what is she doing? What is she going and playing? What is it to play about? That time media was not covering it. We were not seeing it in the television. Our current government is very supportive, but it wasn't like that a decade ago or a decade and a half ago when I started. And my elder daughter Devika was doing graduating in psychology as a subject. People were saying she doesn't stay home, she's roaming around, because there were hardly women in the team. And I need physical assistance. So there were men who were picking me up and keeping me from wheelchair into a bus or an aircraft. So they, oh my God, she's roaming around among men, and this is what the girls are going to see, and this is what they are going to take, and she's just busy flirting around, and she's not even home. She's neglecting her home. She's neglecting her children. That's when they became my psychologists. They brought in the new generation's perspective towards a working woman.
Wow.
They
Gorgeous.
stood by me.
Gorgeous.
Yes, and at times when I would feel low about people showing doubts of my performance in an age that I was, they would become my, counselors, my confidants. I could really sit and share my tears with them that this is what is hurting.
Yeah.
And they would often get me out of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether I became the mother or they became my mother, but the bond has become so strong.
No, you definitely became a great mother, and then they took over very quickly to understand, because as moms we also need to give the credit of what we are bringing to the next, and it takes a lot for a mother to become so positive, even like just regularly. Every single day becomes, we rise, we sometimes do mistakes, we fall, we like, oh, this didn't work, and then we start feeling very guilty. And that's what I keep saying, that, oh, it's not working. But what I hear from you, for you, it was keep walking, keep ignoring, keep moving ahead. They saw that, they kept walking with you, kept ignoring what was not required, what was not serving them. Things that don't serve you don't need to be in your orbit, and you just keep walking the way you want to be. And that's what when I'm bringing these 100 shades, that's what I'm trying to say. There is no shade better than the other. Every mother brings her struggle when she becomes a mother, what she had as a child. There's so many things happen to so many people, but the effort is there. They're trying to do whatever they can. And sometimes we give up. And when we get in, this book will come together to tell people that don't give up. These 100 moms have done it. We can do it. It's a very inspiring book for me as well, because there are times when I am thinking, oh, I'm just being such a horrible mother. And you just said it, like, this whole project is slowly bringing me to the project and taking some time away when my kids are very little. And a lot of times I see that, is this project so important that you really need to do it? And I just keep saying, yes, dream with them on your back. Just don't think that it's going to all work out. So that balancing act, you did it so beautifully with so many challenges coming around you. And that's why I think that your story is a mother's story. Your story is the story of a mother. And that's very inspiring. And what I want to definitely share, because there are a lot of mothers who are watching right now here. With a lot of times I have conversations with them. I don't want to name them, about what to do, how to raise, what it is. Let's talk about, and I'm definitely one of those mothers who's at the time struggling with pushing my kid towards outdoors. COVID has finished, some things that they've picked up in lockdown, and you need to push them out. So you were talking about the fact that what worked for you as a kid, as an outdoor kid, brought you to become such an achiever. What is it that you would like to tell the moms today or the next generations? Because this is the story we need to know. This is the time when they are young, to let them thrive in outdoors. And what's the best way to just get them out? Let's, like, from a sports person like you, that's a message that definitely should pan out for the next generation.
I definitely say that a healthy mind always lives in a healthy body.
Right.
So there has to be inculcation of good habits.
Right.
When I say good habits, they have to be habits around mental well-being, physical well-being, and also emotional and social well-being.
Right.
We have to give them the values by leading the same values.
Right.
You can't be educating them without living the values yourself.
True.
So whatever you are preaching, you have to practice. There is no other rule.
Right.
And be honest.
Right.
It's good to communicate honestly. When I was struggling as a beginner, when I moved, I left my palatial farmhouse in Maharashtra and I moved to Delhi to struggle, to play, to fight and battle for the policies, at par, cash award, rewards for people with disability in sports. I had to live out of a room. I was very open. Even in that one room, three of us that shared. And I remember for 3 Diwalis, we did not buy new clothes because we had to keep some amount aside for my physiotherapy, my rehabilitation, my diet, my coach fees. Very honest in sharing the challenges, very honest to share the low times with them. That also became a learning for them.
Right.
That there is a way around.
Right.
Patience is the virtue.
Right.
Not giving up is the virtue. So what I'm saying is that the only mantra of a good parent is to be honest and to be leading with an example.
You know, what reminds me of, and because this is a very honest space, vulnerability is one thing that I always encourage, even from my side. You know, I used to swim a lot as a kid, and I used to participate in a lot of swimming competitions. I just went recently and just raising the children and everything, I've just left swimming, and that's not an excuse. But my son, I was just telling him, why don't you just go and swim? Like, what's the problem? He turned around and he was all of 9, and he just turned around, he's like, Ma, I never see you. You tell me that you were swimming competition, this thing. I never see you in the swimming pool. And you telling me to go in the swimming pool. And he's like, so when things like that come to you, you stand there and think that, yeah, he's right. Why am I like, yes, I have a younger one who, I have to take care of and everything, but I can jump in with him in the pool. And, I teach self-portrait photography, which is all about the self-image that mother goes through. We become fat, we can't wear a swimming costume, we can't do this, the self-image that most of us after becoming a mom goes to. So I was just like, am I just being getting into that whole thing that, maybe I can't swim because I won't be able to fit in a better costume and I put on weight and everything. So that's something that happens to a mother a lot. And when your children stand up and tell you, why are you not in there? I've decided to go back to swimming now. Like he just told me 2 months back, I'm like, you watch me, we are going to do swimming together. And that's what you're talking about. Live with them, do it with them before you tell them to do what you do. Yeah.
Share with them. And I think it's all right that moms don't have to be a super mom all the time.
Right.
We make our own mistakes. I mean, each child is different.
Right.
Each child's mindset, habits, liking, disliking. So there is no set formula that you have to follow.
Yes.
Because you are a different person raising 2 different human beings, 1, 2, whatever children you have, right, with different temperaments, different likings, different hobbies. So there is no simple mantra, but the only base mantra is that you don't have to be right all the time, and you don't have to be the super mom all the time. You do get tired, you do get upset. There are moments that you will cry. It's all right for them to see these different emotions.
Right.
Because they also have a life to lead where they need to know that even breaking down sometimes is as normal as jumping with joy when you win something. So they have to be part of your losing, your winning, your happiness, and your sadness.
True.
That makes them a complete human being.
Yeah, you just saw him being part of my lives. My kids come in the middle of the life and they keep doing this. So all my 100 interviews, people know actively, they come here, they tell me their score, and they've been just coming in and out. And I just thought, let me embrace the mother with the project to the word mother. And they come in, they go in, I don't shut the door. But jokes apart, I mean, that is what, what you're panning out. And I just think there's so much to talk about. I'm amazed. Like, we thought people would be talking about Olympics and this thing, but you are a mother story. I just knew it the minute I spoke to you that day, that you are such a strong mother story, and inspiring so many of us the way we must do things. So I really, really, with bottom of my heart, really honor you for living this way, because I told you also in person, you're the chosen one. You need to, really get this path for a lot of us to get inspired. So, uh, what is it that one thing you would want to give as a message if you need to wrap up today? Because this is just the beginning of this mother story. We need to pan out this mother story out that you've just lived, and the points that I'm picking up right now in my mind for myself as a mom as well, not only for many moms, or in the comments I can see them, but my Facebook is getting stuck, is that live the truth with them, do with whatever with them, and um you know just so many things that come to me, and I think I will embrace that and put them in my life as a mom.
Shikha, even cooking, because they said, how is she ever going to cook? I had never had to sit down and teach them cooking because they were helping me. They were my extended arms and legs. They were handing me things and I was concocting the whole thing in a pan. I have got an induction stove. I put the pan on top of that. Then I'll ask, pass me this, pass me this, pass me this, and then keep it back, because I can't do it. So even cooking is like a celebration in our house. It's like a thing that we do it together.
Right.
So automatically, the togetherness has come thanks to the body that I live in.
Right.
That's why I'm so grateful to be living in this body.
So how was that moment been?
We are the only mother-daughter duo who played together in disability sports at international level at the Grand Prix and won medals in the same competition.
Wow, incredible. And you were telling me when I met you that you, like, that's the gift I think you gave me, because at that time this project launch I was nervous about, and you said, don't manifest the doubt will also get manifested, before you left and we parted at that time. And you were talking at that time when you were going for your first Olympics, like there was something that was coming into your mind again and again. And let's just talk to people about that, because when you do it for the first time, you're stepping into the fear that surrounds you, whether you will be able to do it. So many eyes are on you, that whole feeling of being in the spotlight. Now Deepa will do it for the first time. Let's see what she does. What's that feeling all about?
I have had so many firsts. I think everything that I have done has turned eyes around, because the first ever biker in disability, a first ever woman to cross the river Yamuna across the kilometer against the current, first ever woman to go and do paramotoring, first ever woman to win an Asian Para Games medal, a World Championship medal, and a Paralympics medal. So there's so many firsts. That first is definitely very humbling, Shikha, because it brings with it a lot of accolades, honor, recognition, and pride for going down in history in golden words.
Right.
But first also comes with a bag of challenges.
Oh, yes.
And the biggest challenge is people imposing doubt and lack of faith of people on what you are going to do.
Right.
So most of the time, the biggest challenge when you talk about what was it like preparing for Paralympics, I had become world number 2 as a javelin thrower.
Right.
I had already made 2 Asian records consecutively, won 2 Asian Games medals, and suddenly the event changed. It was no longer javelin, and a shot put happened at the Rio Paralympics in my disability category. And everybody said, a 46-year-old woman, what is she going to do? When I started with the qualification, I was almost world number 9 or 10. There were no hopes of me reaching the top 3 medal winning positions, but I gave it all that I had. And I think people talk about the pandemic lockdown. That was my lockdown. It was nothing but training, controlling your diet. Even if I used to cross a marketplace, I would sit like this so that I don't look at the samosas or the chaat or the mithais or the sweet shops or the chocolates. I would just, and even at home, if my daughter ordered a home delivery, some pizza or some occasional, this whole food bonanza in the house, I would really put this, close my nostrils so that I don't get the smell, because I was on a very strict diet to
Right.
be able to be, and I did that. And I was a social recluse. I couldn't be on the phone because my coach told me that if you hold the phone and you do this, you're going to tire your B muscle. And if you tire your B muscle, you may lose an inch of a distance.
I get it.
At that level, an inch of a distance. So I would just lie down like this, doing visualization exercises, just lying in the bed, doing breathing exercises. 1 year of that lockdown, if anybody could go through, I think no pandemic, no COVID, no other lockdown would ever be, of any challenge to anybody if you had really gone through that 1 year of my preparation and single-minded focus. And on top of that, I was taken to the High Court by a fellow athlete saying she cannot qualify, she cannot throw what she threw in the final selections because nobody can do that.
Wow.
So, so it was a high court case that I had to fight before I could really get my name going. And I would carry my dumbbells, my protein shakes, my, my these TheraBands, and sit in the courtroom and do it, because you have to wait for 3, 3, 4 hours. You would miss your training session.
What can I say? What can I say? I'm just like speechless with what you're just telling me. That just one moment
And
before
my
you
daughters, and my elder daughter, because she herself has had her share of disability and experience of playing para sports, and she has started her own NGO where she's working for rights for people with disabilities and doing a lot of paperwork and policy making involvement at the United Nations level. She talks, she's been awarded for the rural work in disability sector that she has done. So she herself, the mother is training and she's sitting with the lawyers whole night typing papers, running around to gather whatever was required to win that case. So it was, even that was amazing. That also brought the mother daughters so close. One was taking care of my diet, getting food cooked at the home. One was running around with the lawyers, me sitting and training in the courtroom. And here it is, the medal is made.
I'm just like, I'm really excited to just know you, Deepa. I'm just so excited to know you that it's a pleasure to even have a person with such a beautiful smile and telling a story with such ease that every step, like Mike is there and Mike is just saying that I am expecting a Bollywood story coming out of it. Yeah, absolutely. Not a Bollywood, probably a Hollywood movie as well coming out for Deepa's story. I've been telling her that she must. And bringing you amongst us is an honor, Deepa. And, you know, it's just, I'm just I'm loss of words right now. You can see, I can just keep saying it because everything you've just said as a mom, as I'm saying, first of all, you never mess with a mom, and you never mess with a mom who's an outdoor child. And then you never mess with a mom who's a rebel. And then you never mess with a mom who takes decision and just goes for it. And then when you meet her, she just says, oh, it's all manifestation. It's all this thing. Don't doubt it. Everything is going to happen. I'm just in.
No, I'm a firm believer of power of intention.
It's
not a single. There is not a single thing that I thought in my mind. I'll tell you, lying in the bed, tied up in the tubes for urine and stool, having only half my lungs to inflate, no sensation below chest level. I live on diapers, enemas to do my daily routine work. I always need a person to assist me. Despite all this, and having no support group in terms of counseling at that moment, because nobody was telling me what a woman, 30-year-old mother of two, can do in a body like this. Right. So only negative was coming. But I saw myself as a biker. I was on the topmost leading biking TV show, not once, but in 3 episodes of MTV Roadies. When it was time to take rallies, I have done almost all the prominent rallies and made Limca world records in that. When they said uh, about sports, there's not a single medal that I have not won. So whatever I wanted to do, I have been able to do that. Whether it is walking the ramp, modeling for a magazine, becoming a style icon for a cloth brand virtual company, whether becoming a part of a TV commercial or coming on a soft drink bottle or a foreign country releasing a stamp in your name, in your
Wow,
honor,
amazing.
or being on those shows, the landmarks for which people know you, okay, you have arrived. So whether it was a KBC or a Kapil Sharma comedy show, I had set these milestones that this is something that I am, and even today when I don the position of the president of Paralympic Committee of India, I've always wanted an athlete to lead the administration. It was a manifestation and it happened.
It's in, okay. I also want to just say, because I'm also very intuitive. When I met you just a few days back, my first thing that I think I must confess is that, I'm just letting people know that when I met her, I had my son with me, my husband taking him off, and I have my son, who's sleeping in his lap. And I told Deepa that, my husband is there on the other side. I did not find a tiny bit of any celebrity thing happening there. Deepa takes her wheelchair, goes and meets my son. Deepa takes her wheelchair, goes and tells the driver. I'm just looking at her, that I like everywhere she's just going and doing her thing. It is not, and I want, and this is a very honest thing, because everybody's watching you. I have seen it. Rather than people coming to you, you were moving to people, trying to inspire the hotel to treat people with disabilities in a better way, or going and meeting my son, or going and say thank you to the driver who got your cushion, a taxi driver. Everywhere, your friends coming in, chatting. Deepa was just moving everywhere, and I was just looking at her, that how do you get this humble by having so much amazing,
The best attitude is gratitude, Shikha.
beautiful, and you live it, and I've seen it.
Gratitude makes you a person who is able to appreciate everything around her. Because you can only be grateful if you are appreciating. And if you are appreciating everybody and everything, that means you can look at the positive side of things. Gratitude makes you a positive thinking person. And a positive thinking person is always ready to take anything head on.
Absolutely.
So practice positivity by virtue of gratitude.
Absolutely. And when it comes to from you, Deepa, I've seen it, I've spoken to you, I've seen it, and the story that you're hearing. I mean, we can go on and on about what it is, but it comes back to it. A mom, nobody messes with when she decides she wants to inspire her children. And, I always tell this to people, that you always, if you, I give up sometimes, honestly, with this balancing of this whole project, taking shape, bringing 100 mothers together into the whole thing. Sometimes I sit down, I'm like, how will I balance it all out? If I'm getting the mothers, they're emotional, this and that. And then it happened, and I meet you. And then you told me before leaving, don't doubt it, you will manifest it. And I can see it now after hearing this story. That is out of the question. That doubt is out of the question, and it should not be there with anybody. I would like, there's so many comments coming in. I would go back and do it. One message for the world that's in your innermost heart to bring in, like you've not brought that out fully. What is it that you really want that should happen? And if we can pan it out from here to the universe, it would be amazing before we wrap up.
I think life is the only festival that can be celebrated every day. So don't just live it, be alive.
Yeah. You are?
If we understand the difference between the two, living a life and being alive in a life. And I think that is what is important. And Mothers don't need validation of anybody.
Absolutely.
You don't have to wait for appreciation. The fact that you have brought another life into the world, you have nurtured it first inside you, and you are giving it, where they say the love of a mother is the most honest, purest form of love. And you have the ability to embrace that and give that. So you are already a person who is full of honest love, and you don't need anybody to judge you, to tell you. Well, there is no limit to learning. Be open to learning. But learning from others is different than getting judged by others.
True. True.
Let's be open to learning, because there's so much to learn for each one of us from each other. But not in a way that you're being judged. Don't allow that.
Oh, yes. I just don't have any more words, Deepa. And what an incredible life you have lived. What an incredible life you're living, and you've come so far. And not only yourself, you've brought your children with you. I always tell people, when you carry them on your back, take them on a hike, show them where the worldview is. That's the way we all need to live. And thank you 100 times, I think, from all of us to be living this. And I'm so happy to bring this story out as a mom. Deepa Malik, everybody knows as a Paralympian who did it and all that. But today, to bring you as a mom out, it's a real honor. And thank you for being here, Deepa. And thank you for being part of the book. And we must all lock arms to bring inspiration to many mothers who today are, feeling very, very alone in their journey. And all these 100 stories in their own way are pointing towards a direction where the next generation can be taken. So thanking you and all the 100 moms for trusting this project and coming so far with it. We have many, many moms here already commenting. I will come back to you, but it's getting stuck. Deepa, we love you. We love you a lot. And
My big hello to all the moms who have taken out time to share
Yes.
my journey, to maybe write a word of appreciation. I'm also not able to see it because they are on a different format.
Right.
But I express my gratitude to you, Shikha, for becoming a medium to connect me to so many other wonderful women who are mothers. And I can only say and wish them all the very best and all the happiness and health. Enjoy your motherhood. That's the best experience that one can have on the planet Earth. Whether you are, and again, whether you have given birth to a child or whether you are nurturing a child, whether you are just being a godmother to a child, it doesn't need to be biological all the time.
Right, right. I'm reading a story next week of a mom who's adopted 17 kids. I told her, if
That's what I'm saying.
you're not a mom who is
Motherhood is an experience and a feeling.
right,
There's
right,
nothing. Let us also not stereotype the motherhood.
right. Yes, I'm going to bring that story next week on. I was telling her, if you're not a mother who's adopted 17 kids and left everything and raised them in an amazing way. Deepa, thank you. I will see you at the event, most likely if you're in this country. And mothers are coming from everywhere. I know you guys are not seeing me very often social media because back end a lot of work is happening. Very soon, everything will become public, how we are getting together, what all is happening. And I will see you. My vision is mothers all over the world locking arms to just have one drone picture with this book saying, we're coming back to inspire the mother of the future and the next generation. So this vision I'm holding, and as Deepa told me, do not doubt it. It's happening. I'm not doubting it since then. I'm not going to manifest the doubt. We will see each other and hopefully make an impact in a historical way in our country. Thank you, Deepa, for being here. And thank you, everybody else. I'm just going to go off, Deepa. You stay back 1 second.
Yes.